Greetings. Today I want to share with you an inclusion ritual. This ritual aims at creating harmony within the family system, harmony within yourself, by allowing you to include potentially all those in the family system, in the ancestral field, who were excluded for whatever reason. You might not know them, but as you are doing the ritual, the information might begin to pop up from different sources. So for this ritual, we're working with the women of the family system and with the men of the family system in different generations. And it might be that as you're doing this ritual, things will start to come up that might be a little bit uncomfortable, that might be challenging, triggering. That's why you are taking a representative for a resource, something that really supports you to do this ritual, in this ritual, and you keep hold of this resource. You imagine this presence, this guardian angel, divine love, your guide, being constantly with you. And whenever you feel triggered, or maybe there is a difficulty in seeing or feeling or making another step, you are turning to this resource, to this support, and you spend some time there creating this movement that will allow you to take the next step, that will allow you to see, to look, to include. So for this ritual, you will be representing the men of each generation on one side and the women of each generation on another side. And then you will be walking in the middle between the two lines. You begin with your own generation. You set up the men of your generation and the women of your generation in your family system. Then you set up the man of your parents' generation and the women of your parents' generation. The man of your grandparents' generation, the women of your grandparents' generation. The order in which you set them up, whether men first, women first, doesn't matter. Follow your guidance and how your body calls you to do it. You might want to set up all the women first of every generation and then all the men of all generation, or do them generation by generation. And you set up at least seven generations. This is how long the impact of somebody's exclusion lasts. We might still be on some completely unknown hidden level, be connected to somebody who has been excluded all that time, 140 to 100 years ago, in our family system and the ancestral field. So as you've set them up, you begin at your generation, you hold your resource, you find your center, quiet yourself, set the intention for the ritual to bring harmony into the family system and within yourself by including those who were excluded. And you begin walking in the middle of these two lines, stopping at each generation and turning to face the women and then turning to face the men. And as you do that, you drop into your body and you sense into what shows up as you look at the women of this generation. For example, of your generation, of your parents' generation, of your grandparents' generation. Maybe there will be an immediate somebody who will show up. Or maybe there will be just a general feeling about all the women of this generation. And then notice what you might be called to do. Maybe there will be a small ritual to do, the acknowledgement. So you might use some very short, simple sentences to acknowledge what is. I see you. You are the women of my generation. Maybe there will be something else needed. Maybe you'll need to bring a gift, or maybe you will be receiving something from them. And then when you feel ready, and as you look at them, you say something like, I see you, and you all belong. All those who lost their place in this generation, I now welcome you back. Your place is always yours. You have a place in this family. You belong. And notice what it does to your body, whether there is resistance to saying that. Maybe it's difficult to include somebody in particular that you know there are good reasons to exclude. And on our human level and on our moral level, there are good reasons to exclude family members. But on the system level, those exclusions create gaps that will then be filled in by other family members. And then the imbalance starts in the system. So on our internal image of our lineage, we are returning all the places to those to whom they belong. And then you continue. So if you feel any resistance, work with your resource and your guide and your support to try to find a way how to accept this movement. If it's completely impossible, then leave it for later and move on to the next generation and work with them. And maybe some of the things will come up that will be needed to be taken to a different ritual or to a family constellation or to a deeper, different kind of work, for example. Take it as information, no judgment. There is no right or wrong in the ritual. There is just a movement that we are creating and that we are following if it's possible. If it's not possible, it's information. So you move from generation to men and women, noticing what shows up and creating an inclusion movement. When you come to the last generation, you then slowly walk back, just noticing how your body feels as you're walking down the two sides, the men and the women of the 7 generations that you've included. Everyone who has been included are there now, and just notice how it is for the body as you're moving down to your own place. And then when you get to your own place in the beginning of these 2 lines, in your own generation as the woman or the man of your own generation, turn with your back to them so that all the ancestors are behind your back and your generation is on your side. Breathe in and just allow your body to settle into that place in your lineage where as many of the gaps as possible were complete. And breathe for some moments in that place. And then when you're ready, close the ritual. Stepping out of the ritual space, saying thank you to everyone who participated in the ritual, to yourself, and release the representatives. For today we are complete, this ritual is over, we are done.